Mandy here, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing another video of the How to Roleplay series. So what I'm going to be going over for you guys in this series, I'm going to be going over recording. Yes, I love going over this. This is just amazing. So I'm going to go into a lot. This is going to be a long video. So basically, the first thing that you're going to need for recording, personally, I like to use a camera mod. A camera mod is essential in making a good roleplay. I personally use the Webcam because I'm using version 1.12.2. And it's the camera mod that I can get for this version, and the camera mod is very hard to find for the specific version of Minecraft, but I'm going to show you how to use this specific camera. So basically, if I wanted to do a nice little cinematic, I'm going to cam cleared to make sure that all my points are removed and that there are none left over from a previous recording. I'm going to press P on my keyboard, so that's going to add that point. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to press P and add another point, and then I'm going to type in the chat and use it as a command, cam start. And the beer cam is really weird because it's very weird, so you have to go, it doesn't go through like seconds, it goes through like thousands. So if I wanted to do like 100, that's going to be very quick, and basically what it would look like in a different mode, it would look like that. That is very, very quick. You don't want that. Basically what you're going to want is maybe around 500 or 600, so I'm just going to use 600 to show you guys what it would look like. Okay, so this is very nice. It's a lot slower and it looks a lot better within my opinion, because it is it's just slower and I like it a lot. You can do a lot of really cool like cinematics with this. So basically I'm going to clear all my points again, and I am now going to get I'm going to show you a couple different like cinematics that you can get. So basically one of the cinematics that I like to get are a sideways moving one. So basically, say that there is a person walking right here. So I have got a lovely assistant here with me. So basically I'm going to set a 1 point here. I'm going to set up another point right here. Then I'm going to set up another point right there. And basically I'm going to tell him to walk. Usually you would be in a call with your body actor, so that way you can tell him to walk. But I'm going to start moving and then he is going to walk. So I'm going to tell him start moving. So basically he is going to start walking when I move. So I'm going to do cam start at 600. This might be too slow or too fast for him, or for me, you never know. So we're just going to test it out and see how this goes. So you are going to do this and boom. So he doesn't see me moving yet, and now he sees me moving. He's gonna start walking, and this is a really good way to get a cinematic shot of someone walking down the street for you. So yeah, I like to get that type of cinematic shot. So yeah, another type of cinematic shot that I like to get is a very wide shot. So basically I'm going to show you what that would look like. So basically a wide shot is, you would, honestly, this is going to be like really like hard for me to explain because I'm a terrible explainer. But basically, say I was going to get like, usually you would make sure that the stuff is rendered in first, but basically you would get 1 point. So basically you would set 1 point here. Depending on what direction you want it to go, I'm going to want it to go this way. So I'm going to set another point right here, and then I'm going to set another point right there. And this is technically what I call a wide shot. So yeah, so now we're going to start the camera again, and we are getting a wide shot of the church. So yeah, this is basically what it would look like. Obviously you would make sure that more of this area is rendered in, and maybe you would turn up your render distance maybe just a little tiny bit. But yeah, that's basically what a wide shot looks like, and I personally love to do wide shots like a lot. Okay, so that was going over the camera mod for you guys. That was specifically how I use the Webcam mod. I don't even know how I say that right, but Webcam, I don't know. But basically every camera mod works the same. If you were using something like CDM, it would basically be the same exact like commands, except you would measure it in seconds. So basically you would do cam start, and then it would be like 20s, and then you would just start to go. So yeah. But now I'm gonna go over Optifine, and more specifically the Optifine zoom feature. So this is basically a super simple step that all you need is Optifine for. Everybody knows what Optifine is, but in case you don't, Optifine is a mod and a version of MC, or something that you can install into your MC client that will make your game run smoother, better, and it'll give you more FPS. But it also has a ton of like really cool features. Now I'm going to show you how to use one of the most like important features for a roleplay, which is like the zoom feature. So basically how you would get to the zoom feature is you would press escape, you would hit options, controls, and then you would be put here. So basically for the zoom feature, you would scroll down all the way down to miscellaneous, and my zoom button is set to C. To me, it's telling me that it conflicts with something, but it doesn't, because it works. And basically what it is zooming in. I'm pressing Z, it zooms in on your face, and you can move it around, and it'll give you a really nice like slow moving camera effect. And basically if I wanted to, you know, get a shot of something, or a really close-up shot of something, I would, okay, so say I wanted to get a shot of this, say I wanted it to be like this, and then basically I would just press C, move my mouse around a little bit so it would look really pretty, and that is basically a very nice close-up shot of something. I like to do this with like grass or foliage, and just to be like one of like the opening scenes, or like one of the opening like cinematics in my series, where like, you know, the voice actors, you know, thing overlays. You can even sit and do this, and if you don't know how to sit, it's just, for me it's V, you have to change it. You can do that with you could do that with more player models, but basically you would just like, you know, get like cinematics, so like the graves here, you know. This is really morbid, but I'm just saying this is something that you could do just to get like a really nice cinematic like shot. So yes, so that was going over the zoom feature and Optifine. The next one I'm going to go over are programs that you can use to record. Now there are a bunch of awesome recording softwares out there, and one of the best free ones that I'm actually using to record this video is OBS Studio. But you need to keep in mind that OBS Studio relies very heavily on your own computer specs. If you don't have a decent PC, then I don't think the program is for you. So basically every time you see a very blurry part of my videos when I'm moving, obviously I'm using shaders right now, so shaders will kind of correct this somehow. But take my Let's Get Crafting series, for example. When I move, it gets a little blurry, and that's because I have a good computer so that I can run OBS and record with it at a high settings, but it does give me a little bit of a blur effect if I move in Minecraft. Just because, you know, it is pixels and it's a lot harder to configure to OBS Studio. So if you are running off of something like a laptop that has very low specs, I don't think OBS Studio is for you. But I'm going to go over a couple other programs that you could possibly use. Other programs that I know that are really good are Action, DxTory, Cam Studio, and Bandicam. Now, I only have experience with OBS Studio, Action, and DxTory. Like I stated earlier, OBS Studio is completely free, but Action and DxTory you have to pay for. You can download all of these programs for free, but things like Action and DxTory will overlay a watermark on your videos. To get rid of the overlay, you have to pay for it. So now I'm just gonna go over each of the recording softwares just in general. Okay, so basically right now you're gonna get a little bit of a effect going on in the background, but basically this is OBS Studio. OBS Studio is a really good recording program, and I'm going to go over a couple of my settings with you guys now. Keep in mind that OBS Studio relies heavily on your computer. So basically I have a couple different scenes set up here. I have a gameplay which just records Minecraft. I have CC shopping that was made so I could do CC shopping on The Sims, but I never got around to do it. And then it has a full webcam, which I'm not going to click on because I'm not showing you my face right now. But basically I have a zoomed in display. You can lock your sources. So basically there's the zoomed in display, there's the regular display. That's basically that. You can have different scenes and whatnot set up. You can choose for the scene transition to cut or fade. Right now I have it set to fade. I can switch it to cut and it'll look like that and that. But if I switch it back to fade, which is the one that I personally like to use, you'll get a really nice fade. Yes. But yeah, now I'm going to show you some of my settings. Now these settings are going to be completely different for everyone, and because I'm recording with this software right now, some things are going to be blurred and I can't change them. So basically what I use for a recording path is basically going to be wherever you want your videos to go. You're going to use the output mode advanced, and then you're going to use the type standard. I recorded in MP4 format. I don't know if that's good or bad or whatever. I just like to use it. I record 2 audio tracks, and basically right now I'm using track 1 to record my microphone, and then track 2 to record my desktop sounds, which is basically Minecraft sounds, which in roleplays I would usually edit out because you don't want to hear that, and you don't want to hear your mic either. And we're doing a cinematic roleplay, but for improv or first person, you want your mic, and you want the noises in the background for Minecraft. You do want that. For my encoder, I am using my AMD coder. So this is basically the type of graphics card I have. I have a AMD Radeon, and this is a really good graphics card, and it's basically encoding everything for me. But basically you will have the X264 version, and that's just as good, honestly. Now down here for presets, I'm using the YouTube preset, and I'm using the quality preset of balance, because if I switch this and if I go to quality, I will not be able to record and everything will lag for me, and I just can't run that well. And my target bitrate is 7,500. I could up it if I really wanted to, but I think it's good there for now. So yeah. These are just my recording settings. You know, see, like all of these, I don't know. Open seal transfer and open seal conversion. Basically this will help your video run a lot smoother and a lot better. I use this just because I like to. So yeah, basically that's my recording settings, and I can show you my audio as well. So this is my audio settings. My channels are in stereo, and my mic audio device is a microphone. I use a Rode NT USB. Simple. And you can see that you can like link different types of like things, like if you have other microphones that you want to record. So like on my webcam, I could record my webcam mic, but that won't sound as good, and then I can record my headset mic, which won't sound as good. Usually you want to record the mic that you have bought. So yeah, and then if you come up here, your desktop audio, you can set different desktop audios. I do use default. If I wanted to set it to a specific monitor, I'm pretty sure it would be this one, or I could set it to my headphones, which it'll just record the same thing. So yeah. And for video settings, I cannot change this because once again I'm recording, but I record to a canvas of the size of my screen. That is the size of my screen right there, and I record with a 60 FPS value. So yeah, so that's basically kind of everything that you need to know about OBS. If you want a more in-depth like overview of it, you can 100% like go find another video on YouTube and search up OBS settings. So yeah. Okay, so another thing I'm going to show you right now is Action. Now Action, opening this while having Minecraft open, it did crash my Minecraft just because like I had shaders on and it was just like whole thing. But this is Action. You can see all my like screen clips right here. Action is a paid for program. I paid around $60 for this program. I am going to start using this because at the moment I am not using this for Let's Get Crafting episodes, and I'm going to start using this because this gives me the best quality I could ever want, but it does come at a price. So basically, for everything that you need to know about Action, it is very nice. You can use this for live streaming, which I don't recommend. You can use this just for a video. You can record your game, your screen, a certain area, or a desktop like application, or you could, you know, plug in like or you can plug in like an Elgato if you have one and just record off of that. So yeah, so my file format that I use is MP4. Once again, I use my hardware acceleration, which is just my encoder. I use my AMD. My video size is 1080p, and my frame rate is FPS. And my frame rate is 60. Time shift, I don't really use that. My primary sound device is my microphone. My secondary sound device is my microphone. And then enable editing audio, blah 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 blah, which is just, you know, like default, like your whatever. You can add your webcam if you want to. Once again, I'm not going to show that. You can overlay things. So if you were, oh my god, if you wanted to overlay something, you could overlay like cinematic bars if you really wanted to. Ooh, pretty nice. So yeah, you could do that. Other things for this is The audio devices, this is just what you record. This is just like your default audio device, you know what I mean? You can choose like what like audio you want to record in. You could use like WAV or MP format. You could choose that your microphone is always, you know, recording. You could choose to allow a multi-channel audio recording, which will basically split it up. So your microphone will be one thing, and then your desktops, then your desktop audio would be another thing. And then this is for screenshots. You can also take screenshots with Action. It's really, really nice. You can set it to PNG, a JPEG, or a BMP. You could do like entire desktop, or you could just do one of your desktops, so desktop 1 or desktop 2. Don't know what that is, so I'm not going over it. So your settings page, so basically all your settings are right here. So this will just be like, you know, automatically check for updates, start application on minimize tray. So basically when you start up your computer, it'll like load automatically. I don't have that checked because it's annoying. For video, this is where it gets yeah, this is where it gets like that. For video, for quality, you can go ultra. I'm at ultra because my computer can handle it. Your bitrate is, my bitrate's at 100%. I can force bitrate. I can force bitrate all the way up to 100 MPS, but I don't think you should do that. I think you should leave it somewhere around 16 or 8. So yeah. Use multi-core recording. I don't really know what that is. Record your mouse cursor. This is broken for me for some reason. It doesn't record my mouse cursor. You can visualize your are only available for desktop recordings. Okay, so you can visualize your mouse clicks. So basically if I would click right now, I'm clicking, you would see like a yellow like thing pop up, but like obviously I'm clicking and nothing is popping up. So yeah. For audio, it's just like simple stuff, you know, export, you know, you can see where your videos export to, and then hotkeys if you wanted to use hotkeys for Action. But yeah, Action is a very nice program, so yeah, I like it a lot. Alrighty guys, so now we're gonna move on to the tips on recording for a cinematic roleplay. Camera angles for a cinematic roleplay are literally everything. I would recommend using the Optifine zoom feature, which I showed you in the beginning, but just use that feature as much as possible because it will look really nice. But in certain sets and situations, you might not be able to. Like if it's zoomed in, it'll look like really awkward. And if you're in like a small space, if it's zoomed in too much, it might look awkward. And if it's zoomed out too much, it'll look way too wide. This is all just my opinion though. It's personally how I like to record, but let me show you like what I mean, and I'll show you how I personally like to record. Okay, so we're gonna use this house for example. So I'm just gonna go into this house. This is a set that I built. It looks very nice, it's very pretty and everything. So yeah, so basically imagine a character sitting right there on the couch. See, if it was like that, I feel like that might be a little bit too wide of an angle, but you also have to imagine the cinematic bar is there, so that might be too wide of an angle because you can see their feet dangling off of it. But if I go in a little bit, their head might be right there, so that might be a good shot. But if I'm going like way in, that might be a bad shot because that's way too close for me personally. And yeah, just okay, so for example, again, say that we're in this room. This is a pretty small room. Say the character was sitting on the bed. That would be, for me, this would be a decent like angle for the person sitting on the bed, because they'd be like right here, and it would be really and it would be like a good little angle. It won't be too far in, it won't be too far out. And how I like to get cinematic shots is I either like to zoom in on things, and I'm gonna show you what that is gonna look like right now. So I'm just gonna set my points and everything, and this is just a very rough way of me to do it, but that's basically what it will look like. And sometimes I like to zoom in if it's necessary, but for this one it's not really that necessary, because like the zooming in is just like, it just looks weird if I just do that. But like now it kind of looks okay. This I personally wouldn't use, one, because there are no cinematic bars on it, and two, it's not at a good angle for me personally. Now another way I like to record is I like to do like it's kind of like a panning shot, but it kind of goes like up, if you know what I mean. So like it kind of like curves off to the side and then this way. I'm just going to show you what I mean. And for this one, I think you could zoom in on this one because it does look rather nice how it moves. I personally like it zoomed in, but I can also show it to you non-zoomed in because I know not everybody is gonna like it zoomed in. And this is what the shot looks like non-zoomed in. I personally like this one. Actually, I like this one a lot better. Actually, this looks really, really cute. I like this. It looks nice. Nice. But yeah, that's basically how I personally like to record for cinematics. So yeah, and basically what I would do for like, I don't know, like a cinematic scene where the characters, I would just tell them to continuously bob their head and then switch my angle around them, trying to get different angles while they're bobbing their head. So we're just gonna use this guy as an example. So basically I would get into an angle, he would be bobbing his head, I would get into an angle and I would zoom in on him, and I would just kind of move my camera around a little bit like this, you know, making the camera move a little bit does add. I like to do it just a tiny bit, not a lot. Sometimes my hand does shake though and it ends up being too much, and then I just go around, get another shot, you know, maybe like get closer to him, you know, just like doing this. And what I like to do is usually I like to be either like a little bit higher. Sometimes I like to be a little bit higher so like it looks like kind of good. So like a shot like this where I'm from like the side view, that would be really good from like an upward angle. But I rarely ever do this. This is another way to do it. I rarely ever do this where I get a shot from below, unless like it's a child who's in the picture or the frame and they're like talking and they're like in the baby form that we use. But yeah, other than that, that's the only time I would record like that. I usually just record straight on and I crouch, and yeah, that's basically just how I would record. That's just like my preference of how I like to record, and I feel like it makes it look like really, really nice. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the tips for recording a first person / improv. So this is basically kind of like me repeating what I went over in the roleplay types video, but I'm just gonna go over it really quickly here. So tips on recording a first person / improv roleplay. It isn't that hard to record for first person or improv roleplays. You just simply need to know how to record. You would simply record how you would record a SMP or like a survival video. The only tip is that you shouldn't continuously bob your head. Giving a few bobs and some movement every now and then is okay, but bobbing your head continuously throughout the whole video just might make people nauseous. So I'm just gonna reiterate what I mean by that. Doing, oh hi, how are you? Are you good? I hope you're, oh that was way too fast, I have speed on. But like going like, oh hey, how are you? Are you good? I hope you're good. Yeah, I really do hope that you're good. But doing like, oh hey, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. I hope you're good. Yeah, nice, awesome. You don't need to do that. That's too much, and you really don't need to do that. It's too much. It really is. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful, and I will see you guys in the next one. If you did like it and you found it helpful, please like the video and comment down below if you did, and if there's anything else that you thought I should have touched on in this video, make sure to leave that in the comments down below as well, and I will be replying to some of the comments. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.